with B-Bad and Brandon.
I said, do you like sauna?
Um, it's not my like. I'm not like the biggest fan of it. I'm not a. It's the. I do prefer the infrared ones because they're not as full on with the. I feel like the steam ones really take their toll pretty quick. Oh, I was just saying that I. The steam ones aren't too bad.
Oh, I love a steam sauna. I feel like I'm in a mafia movie when I'm in one.
Oh, like when they're in the old fucking back room, fucking doing front deals.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and you're wearing your towel and you're
Yeah.
doing deals in your fucking towel in the steam room, and then the bad dude comes in out of the steam and kills someone. That's what it feels like for me. I'm in I'm in that.
Yeah, right. That escalated.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I like steam sauna. I think they're sick. But they're old school. You don't see many of them
Mm.
anymore. I don't
No,
think.
I think there's a lot more. Isn't there like more benefits to the infrared ones?
I think there's some benefits, and I know nothing about them. I can tell you some shorthand information that was passed on to me by someone who's super smart.
Mm.
Um, there's directly post training session. There's a growth factor multiplier
Yep.
for you. So, and then it's Nath from Recovery Science, so I back him. He knows his stuff. I can't remember the numbers, but it was exceptional. So if you sauntered for half an hour, it was good. An hour was more good, and an hour and a half was even more good. But it had a diminishing return. So he was
Yes.
suggesting you would use sauna for that use of growth hormone increase in the last sort of 3 to 4 weeks of your
Mm.
training cycle into a
Yeah.
comp
Right.
um, for us as a powerlifter. He said it would really suit that. So that's one of the things I look forward to incorporating into our crew. Is we're about 2 weeks out from nationals as of next week, and we'll be sort of strongly encourage those that have the minutes up their sleeve
Mm.
to do a bigger when they do their bigger sessions, whether it's the squat or deady, to then go jump in the sauna for maybe 30 minutes or
Yeah. Get
45
some
minutes if
benefit.
they've got the time for it. Yeah, so I think that should
Well,
be good for them. Um,
I just did a quick Googie search. Infrared saunas appear to have the therapeutic most benefits for frequent sauna use. Infrared radiation
yep.
penetrates deeper into the body, promoting relaxation, improved circulation, pain relief, and helps with detoxification. They are less
Mm,
expensive to operate than a steam sauna as well.
yeah.
Sounds like a good
Yes,
time.
that's good because yeah, I think they're good. And man, I just generally enjoy it. I like sauna. I like it. I like the sweat. I like sitting in there, getting a
Really?
little heat
Yeah.
on. Yeah,
See,
I love it.
I do prefer the
Yep,
old cold
yep. I
sauna.
mean, I like that too.
Mm.
Cold tubbies.
Hundred.
Cold
Oh, cold
tubbies are good,
tubs.
man. I saw one. I saw one on Instagram the other day. One of the Instagram buy now shop ads. You could get a delivered cold tub with cold filter and all that
Mm.
stuff that everyone's drop shitting out of China now. It was $1,800 delivered.
Holy
Yep.
shit.
Yeah, dude. Disruptions coming.
That's freaking phenomenal.
That's crazy cheap.
Good on them.
Crazy cheap. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name of the brand, but like it's starting to get to that point where if you're into this thing, it's becoming affordable
Mm.
to just have these at home. I reckon,
100%.
and
I
then
think yeah,
get get
there's always a
plungy.
market for it. There's
Yeah,
always a market for it,
yeah,
but I
definitely.
even love at the moment, like if I'm feeling stressed throughout the day, if I'm at home, I'll
Mm.
just run my head under a cold shower.
Yeah, there's
Instant
something
shock and
massive in
just
that, isn't
helps you
there?
fucking mate, there's
Yep.
so much benefit in that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
good.
I've
I'm a
heard some
big believer
strategies.
in just the plunge.
Yep. Yeah, man. I mean, I use the cold shower. I use a cold shower just as a morning or first shower ritual.
Mm.
Um, every day. I like the discipline of it too. I wish we had cold water though, because I know fuck
Yeah.
like the cold showers in Finland hit a little differently when we're there at Christmas time than what the cold shower does here in Gordon Park.
Yeah, we're still like even looking outside now, Mary, it is a beautiful day. It is what, 23 degrees? It is crisp.
Probably more. It's lovely.
I'm going to actually double check that. It is a beautiful 22, 23 degrees, super chill. Oh,
Yeah,
how good is
yeah.
winter in Queensland?
Oh, it's lovely, bro. I once went to a recovery center style place. No, it was a gym actually,
Hmm.
down in Kingscliff. I think it was called Salt.
Yeah.
And they had cold tub,
Hmm.
they had big magnesium pool in the gym, but they had a cold shower.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
right.
was like three degree water with a like a rain big fucking rectangle over your head, like
That'd have been
covering
unreal.
you, so you could do a like a loose protocol of cold shower sauna, so
That'd
you
be
weren't sort of getting in and
insane.
out of a bathtub.
Mm.
I was like, that's fucking cool. I was like, man, that's a lot of water.
It's a lot of
It's
water,
getting wasted.
and that's 3 degrees. Like most cold plunges are around. Oh,
Yeah,
plunge is a bit cooler, but
yeah.
10,
It was
9
chilly.
to 13 degrees. I think at cold tubs usually.
Yeah, the cold shower hit hard. It was nice though, because you just had to sit there for I think whatever. There was like a 1 minute hit on that, and then a few minutes in the sauna. But so you'd kind of know if you did three deep breaths,
Mm.
that'd get you to the end of your 45 seconds to a minute.
Oh,
But yeah, it was a confronting amount of cold.
bloody oath! I
Yeah,
don't.
I would like I would like one.
Oh, I know you.
I don't know how we fit. I don't know how we fit one in Fortitude, but at some point I'm sure we'll. I don't know, build a mezzanine on top of the mezzanine or something.
You're just gonna turn Fortitude into the. I mean, it
Yeah,
makes sense. Like with the name Fortitude, just turn to a full
yeah,
recovery center.
yeah. Well, on that side of those windows is the roof. Like
Mm,
maybe we could get out on the roof somehow. Possibly that could work. Now,
hundred
I'd
percent.
like to shout out your 200 kilo double squat. I was very excited to see that.
Yeah, that So this is a really good tip. I guess a pro tip you might actually say. Um, don't
You are a pro.
don't go heavy without doing the prerequisite blocks before it. Because I
Price
can.
to pay.
Oh man, I was cooked yesterday. And like it's nowhere near my heaviest squat, but I just have not
Is it
earned the right to go that heavy. And fuck, I felt
just
it
that
yesterday.
deep? Just
Just that,
that deep fatigue.
yeah, that deep CNS fatigue, and I'm running around going, "Oh man, how am I going to get through the day?" Like I just felt, and granted, like the Wednesdays are a massive day between Epic and the Finns, so I was out
Mm,
there for fair whack until around 8 p.m. starting super early, so it didn't really. Just
yep.
a lot of running around. I think I did 24,000 steps on Wednesday.
Plus squats.
Plus, man, I just woke up yesterday on Thursday, and I was like, "Oh, my body is so sore." But no, it was cool to just to get back under some relatively heavy weight. As I said, like it's nowhere near my biggest squat. Like so, but it's
What's your best sleep squat?
my best sleep squat's 245,
Yep.
so it's not far off. And then my best wrap squat's 272.5. So
Mm,
definitely some kilos to play with, but I'm just enjoying my training at the moment. Like, back off our conversation of last week. Took me 40 minutes to do my session this morning, and I felt
yeah,
so
nice.
fucking good after it just for moving.
Mm,
Um,
mm,
and now I'm like, you know what? I was feeling fat before. I'm up about the day. I'm ready to fucking rock and roll. Big day ahead. But
nice.
no, it's nice to actually get
Yep.
some consistent training, doing some sprints as well,
Mm.
which was
Yeah, we're
fucking,
running fast, bro.
yeah, we'll say
Those
fast-ish.
legs looks fast in the video.
It was a lot faster than I anticipated running, but
Yep.
boots went on, and I was just like, "Oh, this is actually a lot of fun." It's just nice to move a bit differently, and I'm like that. I'm still maintaining some relatively decent strength. Fucking feeling
Yep. Are you chasing something, or is someone chasing you when you're doing it?
chasing dreams, lost hopes and dreams.
Oh, lost hopes and
I was
dreams,
like,
and just trying to run fast closer to them before
exactly
they
before they
drift
just
away.
exactly. So, um,
Yeah.
but your daddies the other day looked good since we're chatting about training.
240 pause,
Yeah,
double, three doubles. Thanks for coming.
fucking oath.
Happy days.
Now, the question I did have, and I wanted to ask because I feel that I'm sure there's other people wondering. Your lockout, you don't seem to be locking out completely in that in between rep. So you just go,
It's locked out. It's just very
yeah, it's a
quick.
very quick. Is there any reasoning behind that, or are you just wanting to get them done?
I'm relatively excited and somewhat aggressive in the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah,
And I can't manage that.
yeah. That's fair. No.
I'm just in a on the big heavy ones, bro. I'm just in a mindset of go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I'm just trying to go and lift weight. I am very aware that I'm quick
yeah,
on those reps, so I hold the last
yeah,
ones for
yeah. I was
longer.
going to say, well, there would be specific. Will there be a specific period where you prioritize that lockout a bit more, or
Yeah, I just lock out the last one for a while
yeah?
and stand there. I have no issues with that. Never have.
But I think that's
I
something
do
that's
some
not.
chain.
Sorry, I was going
I
to
do some
say
chain work as well.
it's just not like that. Lockout's not trained that often,
No.
and I think remember that block. Remember that block we did. This is going years back. After I just got out of hospital for one of my many issues, unfortunately, and it was on the stiff bar with the chains. And I
Oh,
remember,
it's a good time.
oh, it wasn't. It really wasn't. But you had me holding it at the top for like 3 to 5 seconds at the very last rep. Man,
Mm,
my grip strength. I don't know if you could really measure it per se. We didn't really track that data. I
mm,
have never felt stronger at the top of a deadlift or even just gripping a deadlift. The confidence it gave me going into like heavier blocks leading into comp,
mm.
holy shit.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a big fan of that, bro. I strongly encourage, and to the point where I'll scream at people. Like, I find we do get a little animated and rush or go quickly deliberately
Mm,
through our reps. But I love a long lockout.
mm,
Like, it's at some point when you pull a big third, you're gonna hang on to that thing for a while. So you need to be okay with holding on to it for a while. And then I personally, for me anyway, with those longer holds, I'm deliberately trying to squeeze the shit out of my whole body. I'm not just sitting there and slumping, allowing that
yeah,
weight to sit
that's a
down.
really
So
good point.
I've I feel a lot of extra work on my upper back, like maintaining that position. Like, how often do you stand up with that kind of percentage weight?
Yep.
Like, it's one of the biggest lifts you can do to hang on to weight. The extra grip strength you said, which for me is a major priority because coming into nationals for us, the coach's curse of having, as you would feel, having a successful amount of lifters, the more knees you're rapping and yelling and screaming at. So I'm well aware in 2 weeks I'll be rapping a fuck ton of knees. So I'm searching for extra grip work as well to look after my body.
On the back of that, bro, on the back of that, you talk about it. There's a direct correlation to grip strength and your central nervous system and the amount of
Mm,
fatigue it induces. So, like, and that's something like, especially if you're a coach going into a big meet weekend, you got to wrap all these people. Your grip is going to be suffered, so you're going to be extra fatigued. The hype of the environment
hmm
is going to amp up your CNS as well. So,
Yep.
it's probably not bad that you actually hold on to your fucking deadlifts a little bit longer at the top because where do most people fail? At the top
Yeah.
because they can't
Oh
hold
yeah.
it.
Yeah, and you always see your hands opening up, bro.
Yeah. So honestly, it makes sense, and as you said, like people just don't train it enough. But it's
No,
absolutely
I've actually. Uh,
sorry.
say this training block for me, like grip training's been something I've specifically addition to my programming.
Yeah, right. What have you been doing? That's
Um,
interesting, bro.
Man, I like the deadies. The deadies and the long lockouts are nice. I like a farmer's carry.
Yep.
I like a suitcase
Mm-hmm.
deadlift
Oh, suitcase
and
deadlift.
just hanging. Yeah, but I do it from a rack, so I'm fucking not really deadlifting. It's more of a
Oh, so just got like
high rack stand up.
suitcase hold or
Yeah,
something.
suitcase hold.
Yep.
Let's call it a hold.
Yep.
And just hanging, bro.
Yep.
Hanging for infinite time. So I am aware that heavy deadlifts are hard to hang on to too. So when like they're fucking hard. They're heavy.
Yeah.
They particularly with I've never done switch grip, but I know with a hook grip on the big one, it can move and slip a little bit. So you need to be able to keep that thing. And so I know for Worlds, when I go to Worlds in November, I'll be deadlifting at the end of the event.
Mm,
So I will have coached and wrapped all these little knees throughout the week, and then on the last day, I want to have my turn. So the last thing I want is grip
hundred
to be a
percent.
diminishing problem. And then also, like, you know what it's like. Fuck, how beat up do you get from wrapping knees? So Like shoulders get sore, elbows get sore, forearms get sore, hands get fucking sore. Like everything gets sore. Like I feel like this has been my most well survived training run, where I've need the least amount of treatment support from,
That's good.
physios and stuff and massage to be able to look after my body. Just would put it down to just training some more grip work and doing some stuff that looks after my arms.
Yeah,
And everyone
100%.
says my knee wraps are pretty tight at the moment. Everyone's giving me good feedback on the knee wraps.
Well, I couldn't imagine with that all that extra grip strength, but I think it's such a good like. Not many people train their grip, as we said before, not
No,
many people know
it's a missed
how.
one. Yeah,
And I think
yeah,
just little things like it is just holding on to things, but
yep,
making sure. One thing I really want to add to that is I like because a lot of people use straps, obviously for their back off work and
yep.
stuff, and I get it.
Mm,
But if you're doing some back off work where it's relatively light, even your RDLs, go
yep.
double overhand.
Hang on to it.
Yeah, go double
Mm,
overhand. Make yourself work extra harder.
yeah, yeah, I
Especially
agree.
sorry, I say that in relation to if you do a lot of switch grip.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mixed grip is a very different animal to it, and hook grip in itself is just a whole another
Mm,
beast.
yeah, yeah. Another trick we use and been doing it for a long time is any of our row movements, any pull movement like a row, lat pull down,
Mm.
dumbbell, any you name the variation, we'll train it with a thumbless grip.
Yeah, right.
It's even complicated even more.
Yeah.
Um, so just get rid of that thumb, and I find that indirect grip work that comes from just adding that extra challenge
Mm.
to all of your back work for an infinite amount of, because if you just do it every time you do back work, you train back work a lot and you do it over many years, I
Mm.
found that helps a lot with some incidental grip training as well. So that's something I try and um, program, or I don't really program, but I just tell everyone just
Yeah,
fucking
it's
hurt
like
your
what it's
thumbs.
it's the thing you try and emphasize and make notes about because I
Yeah,
I'm a big the thumbless stuff is good, but I actually use a lot of straps for my back off, not my back off work, for my back work, so to speak. Sorry, just to I feel that I'm able to push a little bit harder, get the muscle activation I want, but it means I can hold on to my deadlifts a little bit longer or like push that grip
yep,
there. But yeah,
yeah, yeah, for sure.
so it's always that like finding what obviously that balance and what works for you.
Mm,
But at the end of it,
yeah,
you still got to train it.
yeah, absolutely.
You can't
Yeah, I always like to think I've only ever dropped one fucking deadlift in a comp.
really.
Yeah, that's it. And with full disclosure, I tore my thumb on the previous rep,
Oh,
and then I fucking went to pull the next one, and I felt it. I ripped the skin off. It was just a bleeding mess. When I shoved it full of chalk, and as I
oh,
was getting off the ground, I could feel the blood coming out of the thumb, and then when like something's wet and you feel it slip off.
oh, God,
I
bro.
felt the I felt my thumb slip out off my just due to it being covered in red stuff, and that sucked. But I kind of feel like, man, fuck, it would suck missing a deadlift on grip strength.
But is there a way? And this is for the hook grippers out there. Is there a specific way you condition
Mm.
your thumb to that position, or is it just you
Lots of it.
just lots of it? Yeah.
I love, like, every now and then I find I'll get someone ask me, I'm thinking about doing hook grip, Johnny.
Hmm.
What's the secret? And I say, I'll tell you the secret. I said, sit down, take a knee. The secret is acceptance. Accept it's gonna fucking hurt. There's
It's
no secret.
the
Like, yeah,
secret
we can
is
say, look, there's a few things to consider. Push your hand around the bar as much as you can. Make sure you get enough thumb to hang on to, and try not to have your skin bunch up. That's probably the three secrets I think that are there. But essentially, it fucking hurts to deal with it.
I
Accept it, and until you're willing to accept it's gonna hurt, you're not gonna do it
yeah.
because it's gonna fucking hurt.
I like that. The real secret is just the 5 stages of grief. You
Yeah,
just step through that process one by one until you accept the fact that
yeah,
what
yeah,
this is where I live
yeah.
now.
Yeah, I love it because like everyone goes, I'll do some hook grip and some switch grip, or I'll do a couple of strappies and a couple of hook grips, or do some
Just
strappies
get
to
it done.
save my thumbs for later.
Yeah,
There's no saving it for later. Like, it's gonna hurt, and the more exposure you have to it, the eventually it's still, well, I'm gonna lie, it doesn't hurt. It still fucking hurts. I was doing some snatch grip ones the other day and it still hurt, but um, you get used to it. That's the secret. And my mum does it, and she's mid 60s, and
Crushing it.
she's pulled double body weight. So if she can do it, I think you can too. If it's something people are wanting to do, as everyone knows, I am pro hook group.
Never knew. But switching gears a little
Yeah.
bit, what's your favorite all-time competition that you've competed in?
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah, because you've done a lot of
I
comps.
w- yeah. Look, I wish I sat back and took more note of the competitions that I did,
Yeah, right.
because I don't think in reflection I never really sat back and really just enjoyed
The,
and
yeah.
reflected on the moment of the competition, rather than it was just, yeah, fuck, did that one, moved on to the next one,
Mm,
or even just didn't really appreciate the event itself as much as as I could have,
yeah,
because
right.
I've done a fucking lot of them. I reckon
Understatement.
what would be the, yeah, I think that lots of them would be fun for all their own reasons, right?
Yeah,
Like first one in Canberra, having no fucking clue, was
yeah,
sick, but I can't really remember the event too well.
yeah.
But it was fun. Um, being exposed to like absolute lunatics, like in some of the Melbourne nationals I did, that
Mm,
was wild. Like Wayne's first comp, I'm pretty sure
yeah,
was my first,
right.
was like my second national, something like that. That was sick, but um, like hard to beat Capo 2013
Mm,
nationals.
stories
Hard
coming
to
out.
beat
Yeah,
that. They had Eric Lilly. They had like 10 or 11 internationals flown out to compete at that, and like I was in. There was 3 flights because I was 100. That put me in the second flight, and the third flight was the internationals. So that was fucking pretty sick.
that would have been
Really,
unfucking real.
that was pretty cool, and that was probably the first comp I took a team to. Like I
Yeah,
had Jamie came to that one. Like we were all coached by another lad, but Jamie came to that one. The guy called Sim came to that one. Pete was there, and another chick I was training. Like Mum competed in that one, so that was like our first like kind of team
that's
trip.
awesome.
Like that was fucking cool. Um, GPA Worlds the year after that was sick. For me personally, I didn't really compete. I did a bench. I think
Look,
I got third in the bench. GPA Worlds
I'm
third,
I'm going to throw
bench
it out
only.
there.
Pretty good.
This could be an unpopular opinion, and I say unpopular only because a very small amount of people would actually be able to acknowledge this. But I reckon
Mm.
2012 to 2015, golden era of powerlifting in Australia.
Oh, wild time, bro. A lot of incredible lifting. A lot of it was growing exponentially as a sport.
Mm-hmm.
So like it was big and fun
Mm-hmm.
and wild, and it was still a bit underground and gritty,
Still a bit
which was
underground.
sick.
There was no 17 federations in the country.
Yeah, it was a lot simpler time, bro.
Simpler times, a lot less gear use.
Yeah.
It was entertaining because some of the battles in each weight class were just
Mm.
fucking insane, and you just had
Yeah. Yeah.
like blokes that would or not, and please, like blokes and women, don't take that any other way, but that would just roll off the street after a full day's work, roll into the gym, no matter what's going on, put fucking 5 plates on, and go up and down 17 times or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild, man. I remember going to some of those comps, and you'd hear stories of like, oh, we'd be in the men's on the Sunday of, the dude who won just being out till 3 in the morning on the
Yeah,
on the source. Like,
yeah.
it, the comps were definitely treated a lot differently, a lot more personality.
Yeah, yeah, that's the best way to
Um,
put it. But I reckon 100%. I reckon that's the golden age of powerlifting, and not to discredit what we have now, but I just think it was a much, as you said before, a much simpler time,
mm,
less political, less, um, not everyone vying for the same piece of the pie.
mm. Yeah, it was sick, bro.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah, it was sick. It was a very, very cool time. And I still have one more comp that was my favorite, and it was 2000. 18 or 19 states that we competed together at
Yes.
Valhalla at
Keddy Wave.
Thingy Majiggy.
Keddy Wave.
Yeah, I had the worst comp I've ever had in my life. I bombed 2 squats
Bro.
and I think I benched fuck all and deadlifted nothing. But it was fucking a hoot of a time
I'm,
because we were lifting
yeah,
together.
that's actually one of my favorites, and I've got 2 stories off the back of that for the people listening. So the reason I did that comp, for those who don't know, is because I competed, I think, the weekend before,
You went to Melbourne, I
Sydney,
think.
Sydney, and it was just like not the comp I wanted. I had the goal of squatting 260. Okay, that's all I wanted. I
Mm.
didn't give a fuck about anything else. I just wanted that. Didn't happen for various reasons, and I came back, and I remember because I was pissed off. So that Sunday, I was supposed to fly back the Monday. I had the shit, so I was like, "No, I'm just going back home." I had half a bottle of vodka, a Big Mac, a quarter pounder that night for dinner. Slept,
Good.
woke up Monday morning feeling phenomenal, feeling just like no aches, no pains. Didn't feel like I just competed. Was weird. Came into Valhalla, squatted 240, self wrapped, no gate, just walked out. And then I walked into the front office. This is back when Scotty Wilson um, fucking owned it, and I was like, "Mate, put me in for states this
Put
weekend."
me in.
And then I was like, "Put me in for states. Just give me 1 minute. I got to double check with my clients competing." Messaged you, and like I knew what you were going to say, but I'm pretty sure you just wrote back like "fuck yes" or like "yes." So that was the first part. The second story is the day of the comp. I get this message from Johnny, and it's like 7 a.m. I'm barely awake yet, and I get this message, and it's the song "Oracle" by Timmy Trumpet, and it's "This is our squat song today." And I was like, I am fucking about this. Let's go. Scored a 260. Did it.
Yeah, we did.
The rest of the comp was horrendous. The rest of the comp was absolutely trash. Like, I missed my benches twice. I missed 2 benches, pulled 1 deadlift, and I was like, I'm done. Like, but fuck, that was unreal. That was a
Yeah.
great comp.
And so something I say to all my clients, and I said, when you go to these big events like nationals and states and stuff, I said, make sure you enjoy the actual moment of the event
Yeah.
because in 6, 12, 18, 2 years' time, you're not going to remember what you lifted. Or you're not going to remember the moments of it. You might remember the number and you might be like if that was good or bad, but you're not going to remember that. What you're going to remember is the chat you had with
Yep.
X lifter at the back of the lift squatting, or you'll remember X person's grind on a
Yep.
deadlift. And so always tell them all. So just once you're not even going to worry about the fucking numbers, just make sure you sit back and enjoy absolutely
That
everything
is,
and every moment of that event.
I think that is something so important that every listener who competes in any sport needs to take on board because, again, you're not going to remember the results. You're going to remember everything around the result.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I also
Absolutely.
reckon
You're going to.
my favorite comp of all time was actually another one where we got to compete together, and that was the deadlift only that I just decided to do last minute, literally like as the competition was running.
Yeah.
And it was probably one of the best comps I've ever had. There was no expectation. It was just fun. I got to lift with yourself. I remember because I got to lift with yourself, old Pete Baskerville, Terence Titus, Kevy B, and there was someone else as well. I can't even remember his name.
Thomas Lilly lifted.
Oh, remember
Thomas
that?
Lilly
No, that was the
lifted
one.
there.
That was the year before. Remember how we got him? Oh, he still hates us for that. I forgot all about that.
Bullying him into it. I've already started the bullying process for this year's one as well. I've already been in his DMs.
Well, as you know, everyone, it's that time of year again where we all slide under Thomas Lilly's DMs and tell him to do the deadlift only comp at the end of the year.
Absolutely.
I'm going to message him right now and be like, oh, yeah, I heard you doing the deadlift only comp at the end of the
year. Tell him I said there'll be a tiger.
Actually?
Yeah, just tell him that. Because that's a joke. He said that to me years ago. He goes, I'll do your comp when there's a tiger. So I've made it my personal mission to make sure I get a tiger at one of these comps one day.
Hey, bro. I should say, hey, Tom, bro, lol. Hey, bro. Heard you are doing the capo deadlift only comp again. Johnny said there is a tiger this year.
Let's go.
Well, it's done now.
He'll love that.
He's in.
He'll love it. He's a legend.
Oh, that's fucking
I
great.
have been on an absolute side note of side notes. I've been enjoying seeing his growth as a business human. He is fucking
Killing it.
dominating this
I
planet.
literally was
Super cool.
who was I saying it to the other day? I can't even, oh, anyway, that's irrelevant. I was like, if there's one person who you can honestly look at powerlifting landscape and say not owns, that's like obviously the wrong word, but who's dominating the powerlifting space in Australia, it's Thomas Lilly.
International, bro. Now
Yeah,
too. There's a
yeah.
zero going overseas.
Zero in
Mm.
I want to say Wales.
Wales.
Yeah, okay, good. I
I think it's
was
Wales.
like, do I fuck that up? Like,
Mm.
what is, from where I think I met Thomas when he was at Runaway Bay, the comp, where you did
Yeah,
TC Gold Coast, and it
yeah,
was next to a Blockbuster.
yeah, bro. Yeah, he started that with nothing
Mm,
too. I'm pretty sure it's the story. He had
yeah,
fuck all equipment
and
and
man,
made it into what it's got.
what he's done is phenomenal. What he has achieved in the
Mm.
sport, and now bringing out his own equipment now. Fuck, and the
Hmm.
people he's brought along the way, and I think that's what I really
Mm.
admire as well. He's not just done it for himself, but he's brought
Mm.
the whole industry up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Rising tide raise all boats.
100%, and he's done such a phenomenal job at that. So
Mm.
obviously he's listening right now. Well done to
Oh,
you.
man,
Like,
yeah, we'd be his number one podcast. I think his only podcast.
just it's just funny because we know it's like he's probably listening to like Pat Davidson or something. I don't know. Fuck, that's funny. Oh, brother.
What's on for the weekend, bro? I'm gonna hit you.
That's a great question. It's actually I've only really got to the Dolphins game to look forward to now. The Bronx played last night, so
Yeah, they did play last night, didn't they?
mate, did you watch it or were you daddying?
Nah, just Dars coaching,
Oh, coaching, yeah.
Jim Dad.
It was. I didn't. I only caught the last 20 minutes because I got home late from a seminar, but it was it just filled my heart with joy.
Yeah,
So if the Dolphins get up this weekend as well, which they should, I'll be extremely happy. And then it's hard, the other Queensland teams of Titans and Cowboys play each other. So if any one of those teams wins, I'll be happy. Yeah.
happy
But
days,
so to
happy
answer your
days.
question, my weekend revolves around watching football.
Go the Fins. It's business. You need to.
Fins up, baby. What about yourself, sir?
Love it.
Just coaching?
Mate, it's the 10-year induction party. So every year when I have a new client reach the 10-year milestone, we put together a lunch or afternoon
Oh, that's
for them
awesome.
and the previous clients who have been a part of the system. So I think Pete and Brendan would know better than me, but I think they lead the reins at 15 years, and
Jesus.
then everyone else falls behind that. But there's 3 new inductees this year, so Michael, James, and Gwen coming into the 10-year mark this year, which is super cool. And I think there's about 18 or 20 of us, including some partners, heading out for some bowls club and paella on Sunday to celebrate that. So
That's amazing.
super cool. Very, very grateful. I'll make some sort of little speech or something about how thankful I am for their time and service with me, and trust to look after them. But yeah, it's super
That's
cool.
unreal. I want, like, if you're a coach, fucking slide into Johnny's DMs and ask him how to fucking run a business successfully for 10, 15 years. That's insane. How to retain client
Yeah,
retention.
super rad.
Do that. Mate, that sounds unreal. Enjoy your weekend. To our listeners, thank you for tuning in again to listening to us dribble, and we will see you next
Dribble.
week.
And remember, hook grip acceptance.